Have you ever had a goal that you set a date for, but you just never hit? You know, something like this. I'm gonna make 60K for my business by next week. Well, I've made that mistake so many times, and I'm gonna teach you how to never make that mistake again so you can have a better life. What's up, action takers? I'm Antonio. If you are new here, I help you set goals, stay focused, and get the results you are looking for a better life and a better you. One of the mistakes that I see of people setting their goals is that they end up setting a date that is just really not possible. So what happens then? They get let down. They get discouraged, they get frustrated from trying again. They end up giving up when they don't see the results in time. And I've made this mistake tons and tons of times, over and over and over again. Today I'm gonna tell you how and why you need to set a specific and accurate end date for your goals. This way you will not get frustrated, not get discouraged, and be motivated throughout the entire time. Let me tell you why through a story. So back when I started my first job, I hated it. I just didn't want to go to work every day. I wanted to control my own time, something that you can't do with a job. I wanted to be free and to be able to go out and enjoy every single day of my life. So one day, while I was at work, I was told by someone higher than me that I had to go and stay later to work on something because it had to get done before the deadline. I hated this feeling of being trapped, stuck there in the lab on this beautiful day where outside all I could see was a blue sky and green grass, and think about the fresh air out there. It was a beautiful spring day in March of 2016. I just wanted to be at a park with friends, tossing a baseball or kicking a soccer ball or playing basketball, anything. Instead, I was stuck inside of a lab calibrating a new piece of technology that we were working on. Sounds super interesting, right? After feeling that, I knew I didn't want to do this. I wanted to make sure that I never felt like this again. So at the time, I had started a side business where I was selling organic bamboo cutting boards on Amazon. And that was gonna be my way to break free. That night, I called up my partner and I suggested that we should quit and work on this Amazon thing full time. So we picked an arbitrary date, June 1st, 2016. That would be my last day at this company and my first day of freedom. This gave me enough time to save up 3 months of living expenses because I didn't think that it would take longer than that to get to my goal. And that's where the problem happened. So I went to work. I would come home and then I would work on my Amazon. It was a cycle that I kept doing over and over and over again. I would work on my Amazon business for 3 hours and 30 minutes every single night without failure. Now it took sacrifice, but we were making progress as we slowly started ranking higher and higher in Amazon algorithm. Then came this fateful day, May 10th, 2016. I walked into my manager's office and I told him that I would be quitting at the end of the month. That would be my last day. And fast forward now to June 1st and I am a free man. No longer stuck inside of my office, doing things that I didn't want to do. So at this point, I started working full time on my business. Now, as soon as we quit, my partner decided to go to Vietnam with his girlfriend. And this hurt us. He didn't work much on the business. And he decided to stop contacting me and couldn't reach out to me. So when we started, we had set a goal for September 1st of 2016 to be making $60,000 a year from our business on Amazon. Boy, we were so far off, it's insane. Now, I worked hard leading up to that day, but September 1st actually came and we were $10,000 in debt, which was primarily my fault. So clearly, we did not hit our goal. Now I knew I had to go back and get another job, but this time, hopefully a better one that I enjoyed. Now I was let down. I was frustrated with myself. Now this leads me to the first point of why you need to set an accurate and specific date for your end goal. When you set this date, you are now setting an expectation for yourself and everyone else as to when you are going to deliver on your goal. And when you don't hit that goal, it will cause you disappointment. It will cause you frustration, and it will cause you some sort of sadness. Now, I'm here because I don't want that for any of you, as I've experienced this many times on my own. Now, the second reason why we want to set a specific and accurate date, because we want to use the effects of what is known as the Parkinson's Law. Parkinson's Law states, work expands so as to fill the time available for the task's completion. So if you set a date in mind of, let's say, 100 days from now, often the work that it takes to get there will expand, will take as much time till you hit that deadline of 100 days. Think about any time you were in school. You had a paper that was due in 3 weeks, but you took some breaks and didn't do much for the first 2 weeks. Then the last week comes around, you start doing everything for that paper. Why? Because the work expanded to fit the time given for the paper. It's that simple. And now the same thing applies to our goals. The goal will usually fit to expand the deadline. So the more time you give yourself to achieve your goals, the more time you will not be as focused. So you can use this to your advantage to set short deadlines with higher stakes in order to really hone in on your focus on that one goal that you want to achieve. Now remember, if you're looking to achieve a goal, it's normally to solve a problem that you have or to transform your life in some positive way. So this is why we're doing this. This is why this is so important. Each part of this is so key. The third reason we want a specific and accurate end date for our goal is because it'll force you to ask yourself questions like, how can I get it done in this time period? What can I do to speed up the process? What can I cut out in order to make sure I hit the deadline? What are the things that are unnecessary? What are the things that are necessary? These questions help you stay focused and get the things that you need to get done right now. Now, the fourth reason why we want to pick a date that's specific and accurate is it gives us a date to analyze our goal even if we don't hit it. So if all else fails and we don't hit the goal, we at least have a date that we can look back and see what things did we do good, what things did we do poorly, and how can we improve on any of that. And then you set a new goal based off of the data you had previously. You're not going to be able to hit 100% of your goals 100% of the time, but we can increase our chances by using previous data, and that's what the whole purpose of setting an actual date is. Because without a date, then you're never actually giving time for you to analyze it or see how far you've come. So how do we prevent this terrible, terrible frustration that I was feeling when I didn't hit my business goals, and in fact, I went in the opposite direction. I was worse off than where I was before. There are a few steps that I came up with that I've helped to use in my life. The first thing is you gotta take a good, hard, honest look at where you are. Remember, we want to achieve results here so we can have a better life. Lying to yourself about where you are is a waste. So what I need you to do is write out honestly where you are right now, in this very moment. In my case, if I had done this, I was super inexperienced when it came to my Amazon businesses, when it came to selling, when it came to online businesses, when it came to marketing. I knew absolutely nothing. Social media, nothing. Branding, zero, okay? So how was I gonna make it from 0 to 60K in 3 months' time? How? That made no sense. So I needed to be more honest with myself, okay? My deadline was too aggressive. And what happened was I failed because of it. So if I pushed the deadline back to something more reasonable, like a year from then maybe it would have been possible. Now, the second thing you gotta do is compare from where you are now, that honestly assessment you just did, and think about the things you need to do in order to get to where your end goal is. We want you to experience the happiness, the excitement, the achievement that you get from achieving your goal, the improvements that it gives to your life. But let's be honest with ourselves here again, because that can hurt us if we're not. The reason we are not there is because we are not doing the things we need to right now. There's things that people who are in that position you want to be in do on a daily, do on a weekly, a monthly, a quarterly, a yearly basis in order to be where they are. So you need to write out all of those things that someone might be doing who is in that position. Someone who runs a successful Amazon business would know a lot about marketing, would know a lot about branding, social media, online businesses, Amazon businesses, SEO, all of these things that I didn't know about. At this point in time, I'm just a junior software engineer with a passion. I was far off and I had a lot to learn. And now the third step is to pick a date in which you honestly The key word is honestly here. Think that you can get to your goal. How long will it take for you to do all the things that you said you're gonna do? How long will it take to implement all the things that someone who has your goal has and make them habits in your life? So like I said earlier, a real goal for me might have been 1 year. 1 year of working on Amazon business. I could have been pretty good at it, enough to then leave my job. And I made that mistake. And I don't want any of you to experience the same thing, because life is short. We all have so many things that we want to do. But if we keep messing up and if we keep failing, then we can never get there. So I created a goal builder that uses all the important things that I've learned over the last 25 years of my life. Click the first link in my bio to be taken straight there. It's absolutely free. Implement what you learn here in this video and this entire series to figure out what your goal is, and it'll send you a PDF of all the information you wrote. This way you can read it out loud every single night and use things like affirmation and visualization to your advantage. Here, I help you set goals, stay focused, and get results for a better life and a better you. Can't wait to hang out with all of you in the next one. Until then, stay focused.